Okay, this is the second video clip that Mesha Irizzary and I are doing on tasers in San Francisco, the advisability of them, where we are in the process with the city bringing them on board, etc. And this is Tuesday, March 1st, 2011. We just went to a meeting at City Hall with Malia Cohen, District 10 Supervisor, about tasers, and informed her about them. And Mesha's going to talk about what's happened with tasers in San Francisco, what the process has been, a little bit of the history, and where we are right now.
Right.
So
the tasers were first introduced in 2003 by Heather Fong.
Heather Fong.
Yes, as a possibility. And we defeated it with the support of the Police Commission in 2004.
Now, this did not go up to a general public vote.
It never does.
When you say we defeated it, what exactly do you mean?
The people put pressure on the Commission and impressed upon them that tasers were dangerous, were killing, and were not a good idea for San Francisco.
So the Commission put the kibosh on
Exactly.
it? Exactly. Okay. And
then,
what year was that?
In 2004.
Four.
Then in 2009, then Chief George Gascon, who eventually came from Arizona, just like Taser International, that is based in Arizona, okay, introduced the idea again, saying that his officers needed an alternative to lethal weapons. The people put pressure on the Police Commission, and the Police Commission voted a resound no again. Jim Hammer, who is now running for DA, was the swing vote. So it was 4 against 3 that voted against the taser. In the light of 4 shootings of mentally ill people in San Francisco, including the last one, non-lethal shooting of Randall Droplet.
In the back, as he was sitting in a wheelchair.
Right. The demagogy that Gascon used before he became DA was to say, you see, this is the proof that we need tasers in San Francisco. Those people did not have to die. If we had tasers, they would be either in treatment or in custody. He's using those lethal shootings as a new pretext, the third attempt to introduce tasers in San Francisco.
Now, will you say very briefly, what, in your opinion, what good is a taser as an alternative to a gun?
I'm gonna say, oftentimes corporate reporters tell me, very often, do you think your son would still be alive if he has been tasered instead of shot 48 times? And my response to them is that, okay, Idris could have been zapped to death. Instead, he was shot to death. Next question.
Okay.
Tasers, when they are being used by cops who are panicky or who forget general protocol on how to deal with people who are distraught, will kill. Those are killing weapons.
Okay. Asked and answered. Good answer. Tell us a little bit more about the process and the history of this here in San Francisco.
Okay. Well, at this point,
this was Gascon.
That was Gascon.
In 2009.
So the first hearing on taser happened last Wednesday on February 23rd, 2011. And there was a massive committee response. There was not one committee member who was pro-tasers. We saw scholars, we saw attorneys, we saw doctors, committee members, elders, disabled people, mentally ill people, reporters, every common Joe or Jane that came said, tasers is a no for San Francisco.
We had Amnesty International, we had the ACLU, there were several lawyers there.
John Burris was there, the lawyer of the Oscar Grant case. And, there is a particular danger to certain demographic, to certain population for taser. I'm particularly sensitive to what will happen to youth, especially youth of color who is evading a fare in the bus, that is a perfect taser scenario to, immobilize them into submission. Also for undocumented immigrants who are bundling up with each other, sitting to fight hypothermia on a sidewalk, waiting for a bus to pick them up for work. In the light of the seat lie ordinance that is now implemented,
Right.
that has passed, voted by the people and passed since February. Those are prime candidates to be tasered. They do not understand. A lot of them don't even speak Spanish. They speak Aztec. And they need an interpreter to speak Spanish. They definitely will not understand the routine or the taser. They will not know what is being said to them before they are being zapped to death.
Also, elderly and disabled people, if they are asked to move and they don't
cannot move fast
and they
enough.
can't,
Exactly.
they are at risk for this.
Right.
Now, where are we in the process then, Mesha?
Now, the commission has voted that they will wait for 90 days, time to do more research on tasers, on the police commission, and on the police themselves side, and get input from community stakeholders. That's where we need to put pressure on them, because they're very selective about who is a stakeholder. So we need to put pressure, though all segments of the population is represented in this research. And then at the end of the research, after 90 days, most likely, they will vote on whether or not to authorize a pilot program of a limited amount of beat cops armed with tasers, which means a pilot with the cops who are working on the street with the most difficult, volatile population. We must stop it. Research is completely bogus. There has been 10 years of research now. We have done enough research on all sides of that fence until we're blue in the face.
And what
It is just a demagogy to make the people wait and accept the decision to vote on pilot.
So what's the prognosis, in your opinion, for this? What do you think is going to happen?
We only have one commissioner on our side to oppose taser. That's Petra de Jesus. All the others now have accepted for research and maybe implementing a protocol. So we need to work on those commissioners individually, and I don't know if you want me to talk about this now, but we already have made all our points about please have a heart, please don't kill us, please don't kill the young, the old, the disabled, the people of color. So now, what we need to show them is that tasers are not fiscally sound for San Francisco.
Expand a little bit on that, just a little bit. You're saying that they're too expensive. Yes?
Now, we're going to do away with 500 cops, but we would adopt a $2 million contract for tasers from a company that is based in Arizona, the state that we boycott.
At a time when we are suffering massive budget cuts,
huge budget deficit,
we don't have
where
any money.
Even the shelter budget has been cut by 80%. Those are the people who will sleep on the street who will be tasered.
Yeah,
It makes no sense.
absolutely. Thanks, Mesha. That was terrific.